Have you noticed in the data for the United States that the melanated Americans have only been 13%, and all other races, the Hispanics and the Asians, they just surpass us? Doesn't that seem weird that we always stay at 13%? But if you read in history how we were growing and growing and multiplying, even during slavery, nobody's ever talked about that. But I want to talk about the lie of the 13%, why it's impossible for Yasharel in America to stay 13% for centuries. Let's look at Exodus 1:9. And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the children of Yasharel are more and mightier than we. That same fearful mindset of Pharaoh is alive today in America and around the world. The enemy doesn't fear poverty. They fear your numbers, your awakening, and your covenant with Yahuwah. So where did the 13% myth come from? Well, you know about those censuses that they do like every 10 years? Yeah, it's a Gentile tool of control. The U.S. Census claims so-called African Americans have stayed at 12 to 13% of the U.S. population for over 100 years. But every other ethnic group, Hispanic, Asian, mixed race, immigrant groups, have risen exponentially. But how? How can a people with high birth rates, multi-generational family structures, ancestral resilience, and who survived 400 plus years of slavery and oppression remain stagnant at 13%? You got to be cooking the books. So the strategy of Pharaoh is in Psalms 83:4-5. Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharel may be no more in remembrance. The Gentile nation's game plan was to suppress the numbers of Yasharel, underreport births, remove race from forms, misclassify ethnic groups. They classify Hebrews as different people: African American, Afro-Latino, Afro-Caribbean, Haitian, Jamaican, etc. They just had to give us bywords, the colored, Negro, boy, Indian. And they encourage abortion, incarceration, vaccines, drugs, gender confusion, tools to reduce and sterilize. Separate families and promote economic dependencies like in Exodus. Give just enough to survive, not to thrive. So proof is a lie. Yasharel is not just a African American or melanated people or FBA. We are Jamaicans, Haitians, Bahamians, Panamanians, Dominican, Brazilians, Afro-Mexicans, and scattered to every corner of America and beyond. Now, before you guys get all rattled, you have to remember, we were scattered through the four corners of the earth in every country. So you're going to have some of us in all those countries. Not the ones that speaking negative towards us. We know those are the Gentiles, and we know that those are the Hamites. But the 13% number only counts those who identify as Black in the U.S. Census. Now, many Hebrews are counted as mixed, other, Latino, Pacific Islander, or even white due to intermarriage or confusion. And I know, working in the healthcare, when they used to do these surveys, a lot of the Hispanics and Asians would mark white. They wouldn't mark Asian or Hispanic. They would mark white. So that puts them in a whole nother category. Yahuwah's promise can't be contained. In Genesis 22:17, I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven and as the sand which is upon the seashore. There's no way a people blessed to multiply could stay at 13%. The math ain't mathing. We've been mislabeled, miscounted, and divided. But the true numbers are far greater. Global Yasharel is rising. We are awakening. You must consider the entire scattered seed of Jacob, the Igbo of Nigeria, Yehuda, the Ashanti of Ghana, the Limba of South Africa, the Zulus, the Kikuyus, the Bantu tribes, the Hebrew descendants in Haiti, Brazil, Peru, Honduras, Colombia, Trinidad, everywhere. We were everywhere, scattered in the four corners of the earth. Yahuwah said he would scatter us, but also that he would gather us. And this awakening is happening right now in Deuteronomy 31 through 4 and Ezekiel 37. So the prophetic truth, why the world keeps you at 13%. Revelation 12:17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, Yasharel, and went to make war with the remnant of the seed. The war is psychological. You're in a minority, powerless, and unwanted. Statistical, 13%, equal cold, where you're not enough to matter. Spiritual, keeping you from realizing that you're part of the great nation prophesied to rise in the last days. The 13% lie is to keep you mentally oppressed, politically outnumbered, spiritually discouraged, and disconnected from your brothers and sisters worldwide. Now, why Yashiel must wake up now? You're not 13%. You are not lazy. You're not forgotten. You are the remnant of kings, priests, warriors, prophets, and rulers. In Isaiah 10:22, for though thy people, Yasharel, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The return is not just to a land, it's a return to your identity, your power, and your covenant. So let me decree over you. I reject the lie that we are a minority. We are the seed of Abraham, the child of Yahuwah, and we are part of the remnant rising. We will no longer be counted by the world's numbers, but by heaven's prophecy. We are many. We are mighty because we are Yasharel.